Hello YouTube. Today I'm gonna be installing some door speakers. As you can see, the Morel Maximo 5 1/4 component speakers. I'll be installing this into 1999 Porsche 911 996 chassis designation. Brand new. Got these I got these for a pretty good price at Crutchfield, so shout out to them. I'm gonna be reusing the kicker key 180.4 for the rest of the speakers, the focal integrations that I had previously installed. These component speakers are going to be powered by this Infinity Primus. I believe that's the spelling of it. Primus 280W. This model is the 6002A. It's a 2-channel amplifier, Class D. It's 60 watts times 2 at 4 ohms, which would be perfect for these Morels. Because I already have coaxial focals around the car, I will not be using the tweeters that these Morels come with. I'm just going to be using the actual mid-woofer on the door to reproduce bass, and because I'm a cheap bastard, I'm just gonna be reusing some of the RCA cables from the previous install of this kicker that I had on a Subaru WRX. So I'm gonna be mounting those 2 amps in the factory amp location. That, as you can see, the factory amp was removed. I bought the car like that, so they have to work done already. These are the tools that I'm going to be using. A couple of trim removal tools, a T27 Torx. I believe there's the 4mm Allen that I'm going to need to remove the door, screwdriver, and a Phillips head. The last small trim piece is the airbag trim piece. Now be careful with these for obvious reasons. You don't want the airbag to pop off and blow up in your face. So I already removed the last one, which be careful when you're putting it back. The bottom one is longer than the top one. Now the next step is to remove the 4mm Allen on the airbag, and then there's a Phillips head on the underneath this little cubby here. So the last step to remove this panel is to just work around and get the clips to release. So that's exactly what we're gonna do. And keep in mind, this is an old car, so clips are gonna break. And as a matter of fact, some of them might already be broken. So I'm not the first one that has worked on this car. I'm gonna need one more tool to cut the zip tie, but I really don't want to do that, so I'm just gonna leave it dangling here so I don't damage anything. So I'm gonna go ahead and remove the factory speaker. I'm surprised it's in decent shape. And that's that. This is one of like 3 or 4 different versions of enclosures that they had for the mid-woofer. These originally were made to reproduce the low frequencies on the bass stereo, since it didn't have a subwoofer. It's a neat design, but not the one that I was expecting in here. But with that said, let's move on. This is, you can see the comparison between the two. This is the factory, there's a Morel. That's, you can see how, you know, it's cheap paper. This still paperish, but you can tell the difference. It's way, it looks a lot more durable, at least in appearances. But I haven't heard any bad from the Morel lineup in general. So I'm very interested to hear these Morels, these Maximos perform. So now this is where it's gonna go. As you can see, the wires are already set, and then it's made so the factory plugs go in here, which is kind of cool. So you don't have to do any modifying to the speaker itself, to the leads. You just plug it in. It's all plug and play. I like that. I don't like having to slice wires or having to rewire everything, which I may have to do. Unfortunately, I may have to do some of it in this application, since it already had an aftermarket stereo and there was wires everywhere, and I'm gonna have to find where all the wires are going now, since the factory amplifier was deleted. But I would like to keep it as factory looking as possible, and that's what we're gonna do. So this is where the original, this is the original harness that went to the factory amplifier, that, as you can see, has been completely bypassed. So now I have to figure out, and I might be in luck, because this is one of the door speakers, and here's the other. So I might actually be in luck. Sweet. So this is the 10 gauge power cable that's going to go to the amps and the fuse box. So I have to get the battery cable, the power cable, hooked up, and then I have to get this fuse box in a way that's as close to the battery as possible, but without it being damaged by the heat or whatever, which in this case is not really a problem because the motor's in the back. But basically you want it as close to the battery as possible, just in case anything goes wrong. If you have a surge or anything, you don't want the cable to melt and all the damage to go all the way to the inside of the car, where it could damage other components and possibly lead to a fire. So you want this as close to the battery as possible to prevent that. So now I got to figure out, now I got to measure in the car and figure out how long do I need the first piece to cut, so I can get this in a safe spot that I can mount it in. I didn't realize until I looked at it further that this enclosure was modified. The original one from Porsche, one of their versions, or I should say all their versions, covered pretty much this entire area. A pretty significant enclosure. It seems like the previous owner just kind of hacked it off and put some liner there to seal it off. We'll see. So we ran the wire, the remote wire, finally. Now I gotta go to the front, cut the wire, get it into the amp, and then hook it up to the wire harness for the radio. That shouldn't be that big of an issue. Then we can button up on the center, and that would be it for the head unit part for now, since I won't be able to hook up the amp for the coaxials, since I only want to run one battery wire and then tap into that to the second amp, since the second amp doesn't need as much. But I'm gonna have to order some more pieces so I can tap into that wire. I don't have anything thick enough for that 10 gauge. So that's gonna be a separate video. Hopefully it should be quick. So we finally got the stereo buttoned up. It was a bit of a pain. We had to take the entire piece out so we can fasten it, and then it keep jiggling. And so now I'm gonna move on to the right speaker, and then we'll get everything buttoned up. We already tested, the speakers work, the amp works. Just gotta get the right speaker mounted, and after we button up, all we have to do is just do the just tune it up, make sure that everything's sounding good, and we'll be all right.